Hello world, and welcome to Skyrim Mods and More Episode 8. I am Ikari. Please fasten your seatbelts and prepare for a bumpy ride, because this week we have some really interesting and quality mods. I am really happy to see that after almost 5 years the modding community still got it. But see for yourself. Now let's try this one out. Intro 1, engage! The first mod I have for you today is A Horror Over Skyrim by ARIR 7. This mod is not yet complete, so if you wanna give it a try, you will have to start a new game. Because if you don't, it will mess up your character and switch it to the so-called invisible race. For now, this mod only contains a package of conjuration spells, which you will have from the very beginning. With those spells you can summon a variety of horror-themed creatures, going after the idea, the less you see, the more you fear it. So if you want to roleplay an evil necromantic entity, you might want to give this one a try. Using the invisibility race you will have unlimited magicka, so you can pretty much spam those conjuration spells and wreak havoc. The creatures might not be overpowered in terms of damage, instead the idea is to play with your prey and torture it as much as possible before it dies. Now, before you take me for a psychopath, this was pretty much what the description said, but if you want I can draw a clown to convince you that I am truly insane. The summons last only a few seconds, but you can summon up to 30 of them at the same time. The variety of the creatures goes from small, barely visible ghosts, to humanoid creatures, to dragon-like creatures. Well, okay, some might be a tiny bit over the top. The music you hear in the background, by the way, is also part of the mod. That's right, there is an optional file to replace all Skyrim music with those 3 spooky 5-me tunes. As mentioned earlier, this mod is pretty much a tech demo. However, the author plans to evolve it into a new creature, aka new enemy mod. And come to think of it, I recorded this during the day, because some of the creatures are quite hard to see. And thinking about fighting NPCs with this kind of abilities, with spooky music, in the middle of a dark dungeon, now that doesn't sound very comfortable to me. So all in all, this mod has a lot of potential, and I'm really curious to see how it will develop in the future. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have something that has never happened before in the history of Skyrim modding. Well, at least not with that amount of epicness. Resplendent Armor and GREATSWORD by SARCASTICSHARK. This mod hit the hot files like a goddamn supernova. Because, you know, it's hot and, yeah, I'll see myself out now. By the way, if you think it looks a little bit like the armor of Knight Artorias from Dark Souls, it's just you. No, I'm joking, of course it's inspired by Dark Souls, it is even mentioned in the description of the mod. The design of the armor is definitely incredible, and I would say it does look quite lore-friendly as well. As the name of the mod suggests, it comes with a fitting, epic-looking greatsword. But the most awesome thing about this armor is, it's a mail armor with, are you ready for it? With HDT physics. That's right, we have been modding this game for almost 5 years now, and how many male HDT armors are there? Like 2 or 3? Sure, obviously there might be some clipping and stuff, but nevertheless, this is the greatest armor mod ever created. Oh, and yes, it is also available for female characters, just don't expect it to turn into a bikini all of a sudden. Yes, I understand that many of you are quite disappointed now, and I'm joking. . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 Now you're probably thinking, what kind of mod can keep up with the epicness of that armor? What if I told you we have another custom voice follower by Mlee3141, the creator of Orlin Dawnstone, Virelda, the Heretical Soothsayer. But before you go crazy looking for her, she is in the underground temple of Mirak. Nope, not here. It is actually a new place right there. Yep. Now the only problem is, this is how she looks on the screenshots, and this is how she looks in-game. Well, yeah, almost. I'm joking, she is completely vanilla. So for the rest of the episode we will do this. I'm joking, obviously, but seriously, the voice acting is really good.
I'm Virelda. Once I walked the greatest halls of this land and was a soothsayer to those who would be gods.
It is really quiet, however. I had to turn down the sound effects to almost zero to be able to understand her. As soon as you start talking to her, you will definitely recognize Mlee's unique writing.
Heed, brave hero, and listen well. This world is changing. Darkness lurks on the horizon. The last dominion of man stands poised at the abyss, and a great chasm of war threatens to tear the land asunder and consume all in fire and blood.
There are over 500 lines of dialogue, and yes, turning on the subtitles definitely helps. And a little advice, don't ask her to sing for you, because
these gods long have yearned for your tender caress.
You've done well.
Fortunes, damn what the stars.
yes. And also I noted that the subtitles are somewhat buggy. The text on the screen covers only a part of what she actually says. This is her adventuring gear, by the way. She will also use a variety of unique abilities in combat. That Vortex, for example, gives the player 100 extra health when she is nearby. Another cool thing is, she will use a unique projectile weapon in ranged combat. Did you see that? Those are actually cards. Skyrim cards to be precise. I guess it's time to duel. All in all, Virelda is definitely an interesting follower, but a few things like the misleading screenshots and the somewhat too quiet voice should definitely be addressed in the future updates. Well, knowing Mlee, we can definitely count on seeing this mod updated soon. The next mod may seem familiar to some of you because it has some history. There was once a guy on the Nexus called Raynel07 who had a few really ambitious projects going on, and one of those was RGX, the Redguard Expansion. This mod was, however, deleted shortly after it was released and the author banned for whatever reason. Those of you who actually managed to get the mod back then know that it was really buggy and pretty much unplayable. Now the mod has been released again as the Redguard Expansion Reloaded by TJ Red. It's the same modder, and he claims that his mods were really lame back then, but he learned and improved a lot in the past time. So let us see just how much the young Padawan has learned and if he has really become a true Jedi Knight of Skyrim modding. To get started, there is a new boat near the Sawmill of Solitude. First observation, lots of fruit laying around. Just kidding. First observation, we are being greeted by a voice-acted NPC.
Sure, we could use more muscle. We're sailing south. I hope you don't mind the heat. It's really quite warm down south.
Now that's a plus. His dialogue doesn't update, however, and he will say the same things again. That's a minus. I'm joking. Anyway, to start, go below deck. Lots of people here. Obviously only a few have dialogue. Some have just edited vanilla lines, and our reliable looking captain here has the first quest.
I'm losing it. My wife cheated on me with my right-hand man. I want him dead.
Oh, how sad. We actually have two options here.
Please, don't do it.
Anyway, once we arrive on the so-called Island of Dibella, we see... Yeah, looks pretty tropical. What I mean is, the visuals are actually pretty good. Both the exteriors and the interiors, pretty much everything is made with custom assets. Also, there is a working world map, which is a big plus. You will also notice there is a conflict going on here between the so-called Imperial Nines Yes, this is really what they are called here.
May the Imperial Nines rise to glory.
And the Ragada, which is something like an old word for Redguard. Now, I'm not sure how I should rate this in terms of lorical correctness. Anyway, it is possible to join those factions and...
We're gonna grab this island by the balls.
Yes, I guess this is one way to say it. There are 15 quests in total. I haven't done all of them, but they seem quite straightforward. Go there, kill that, this kind of thing. And most of them have functioning quest markers. The enemies seemed quite balanced to me, and as I mentioned earlier, the locations you visit look really good. So all in all, this mod is definitely playable, and if you can see past the somewhat mediocre voice acting and the somewhat weirdly written and poorly scripted dialogues, you will definitely enjoy this mod. And this is it for this week's episode. As always, links in the description below. Don't forget to endorse the modders, and if you like this video, hit the like button and feel free to subscribe for more Skyrim videos. Thank you all for watching, and see you around soon!